All right, family, I want to ask you something today. And it's kind of a dangerous question. It might just totally shift the way you see your spiritual life.
So, what if that thing, the thing you just call a slip up, what if it's not just a mistake? What if you are, without even knowing it, actually building a platform in the spiritual world, a stage for something else to stand on? I mean, we're talking about giving permission to an enemy you would never, ever knowingly invite into your house, right? Let alone into your spirit. And then let's flip it. What if obedience isn't about, just pleasing God or trying to earn points? What if it's actually about reclaiming your territory? Like literally clearing the spiritual air around you so you can breathe again, so you can hear, so you can connect with God without all that static and interference. So, yeah, treason builds a ladder, obedience clears a portal. Let's dive into that. Because this right here, this is the core idea we're going to unpack today. And I'm telling you, once you really get this framework, you will never, ever look at sin the same way again.
See, for most of us, we were taught to think about sin in these really simple boxes, right? It's either right or it's wrong. It's good or it's bad. I messed up, I say sorry, and poof, we move on. But that's just not the whole picture. It's not even close.
And what you're seeing here is a huge shift in severity. The Bible doesn't just talk about sin like it's some personal mistake. No, it frames it as treason, a betrayal against a king who loves you. So this isn't just about your personal morality anymore. This is a legal act in the spiritual realm, an act that literally builds a platform and grants access to the enemy. I mean, just think about Adam in the garden for a second. He didn't just mess up, he committed high treason. And notice what happened immediately, before God even said a single word of judgment. Adam got scared. He hid. He started pointing fingers, blaming. Why? Because treason has this automatic effect. It just disconnects you from the source of life. And when life pulls back, fear just rushes right in to fill that space. That's a spiritual law at work. Okay, so here's the part we almost never talk about in church. Sin doesn't just stay down here with us. Nope, it travels. It actually echoes up into the heavens. You see, the Bible calls Satan the accuser of the brethren. And to be an accuser, you need two things. You need access and you need legal ground. Think about the book of Job. The accuser isn't like sneaking into God's throne room. He's just standing there. How? Well, every single time we commit an act of treason, it's like we're adding another rung to a ladder that he can climb to stand right there before God and point his finger, not because he's powerful, but because our disobedience gave him the legal right to be there. This quote, wow, it just nails the point perfectly. When the prophet Nathan goes to King David after his terrible sin, this is what he says. He's not talking about the Philistines laughing at him. No, he's talking about the spiritual accuser. David's treason didn't just break God's heart. It literally handed the enemy a legal document, a script to go read out loud in the courts of heaven. All right, so let's bring this down to a really personal level. How does this whole ladder thing affect us? Well, check this out. Every single one of us was created to be a portal, a living, breathing connection point between heaven and earth. Remember Jacob's dream? He saw that ladder reaching to heaven with angels going up and down on it. That wasn't just some random cool story. That was a spiritual blueprint for how you and I are supposed to function. And here's the most important part of this whole thing. Your sin doesn't make God just pack up his bags and leave you. It doesn't destroy your portal. It just blocks it. It hijacks your ladder. And that feeling you get, that heaviness when you try to pray, that brain fog you can't shake, that sense that peace is just leaking out of your life, that's not God being far away. That is the feeling of an enemy standing on your ladder, blocking your connection. Okay, I know right about now is where some people might start to feel a little panicky. You might be thinking, whoa, are you telling me I have to be perfect now? Is this just another dose of legalism? No, absolutely not. This is about finally understanding what grace is really for. See, grace isn't some past just be okay with treason in our lives. Grace is the power to get rid of it, and get rid of it fast. So obedience, it stops being about trying to earn God's love. You already have that 100%. Obedience becomes this wise, strategic act of warfare. It's how you literally grab the enemy and yank him off your ladder to clear your connection. That's not works, my friends. That's wisdom. So what's the game plan? How do we do this? It's actually really simple, and it has to be immediate. First, stop defending the sin. Just stop. No more excuses, no blaming other people, no long drawn-out stories about why you did it. Second, you have to respond right away. You got to understand delayed obedience is just extended access for the enemy.
The longer you wait, the longer he gets to stand on your ladder. And third, and this is key, you have to return the sin to its original owner. Sin didn't start with us. It started with Lucifer. It's not yours to keep. So you can, and you really must, say it out loud. Something like, this thought of bitterness, this is not mine. This desire for impurity, that's not from me. This spirit of accusation, that is not my spirit. Get off my ladder in the name of Jesus.
So family, it all comes down to this. This whole spiritual battle is about access. Every single day, with every single choice you make, you're building something. You're either building a ladder for the accuser to climb, or you are clearing a portal for the king to come through. So the question I have to leave you with is, what are you building today? Because heaven is watching, and you can be sure the accuser is too.